Fuck everyone else. They're late. I mean, once you become like the effect of the head changing, how it's formatted, you'll realize it's all right angles. It's all right angles and boxing in. It doesn't flow like, you know, a square wouldn't move, yeah? You'd have to push it once and push it again, push it again. So you seem to have to push it to understand anything other than what it knows, yeah? Because it's like trying to move a square. It doesn't get any momentum, does it? It doesn't. All right, you do it 30 times, you expect it would you get one extra clunk, but it doesn't, yeah? You know, you push it 40 times and it doesn't do its own. That's like how the head is frozen now in most of us. We're not getting it because we're waiting to get it, yeah? Or we have an idea that we got it once and then we've lost it with the hopes of regaining it, yeah? But that's like that square just trying to This sets things off, that's all. That's what entertaining is. It's not entertain, it's entertaining, yeah? It sets it off. It gets its own momentum. And now the understanding becomes much more tactile because it's not just your understanding, it's understanding with no period or place where it started or stopped, yeah? There's just understanding. It's like a giant collective space that you can stick your seeming one little head in, and then you get a huge view, yeah? All right, so I guess we'll start. If you can get the flavor of it, yeah, the flavor of it is like it's always being applied. You're always tasting it. That's why it goes unnoticed, yeah? You're always in it. It's sort of like that fish in the water. It's totally, totally drenched, yet it can have a strong idea that it's dry. Yeah. But the dryness is an insane idea of being entertained in the drenchedness. The dryness, the belief that you're dry doesn't make it so. That's the beautiful news. Yeah. So if you see that you're not that which holds on to the belief, you don't have to get rid of fucking beliefs. That would be a belief that you can get rid of beliefs. Really. This is the dilemma when people are sharing ideas and helpful things, you're included. Yeah? You're included to fuck up the works, which you inevitably do, seemingly. Yeah? But this takes you totally out of it. What you're looking for is what's looking. It doesn't say, it doesn't have 30 pages between what's looking is what you're looking for. So it's what's looking and then 40 pages of requirements for you and I to become what we're looking for. It doesn't say that. It's a very quick, complete, comprehensive statement. What's looking is what you're looking for. When? After you go from the, after you get back from the retreat? No. After you've been purified? No. After? No. What's looking, the present tense verb, is what you're looking for. You sense it, yeah? What's looking, right exactly at this second, is what I'll say what we're looking for. Yeah. Do you see the immediacy of it? What thing have you ever been looking for that was that immediate as being what's looking? Yeah. What thing, what idea, what understanding, what practice that we ever were looking for was that immediate as what's looking? is what you're looking for. Isn't that the most beautiful thing? It doesn't say you're looking for a teacher and that's what's looking. No, it says what's looking. So the what's looking right now while you're looking for is what you're looking for. What would be negated then? The looking for. Because what's looking is what you're looking for. You can't be closer to it. You can't, there is not a process in time that can be at this point or arrive at this point because it's never left this point. Timelessness overrides every stretch of time. It's the context that this idea of time seems to be playing out in. So basically, no matter where you think you are, there you are. I mean, how many future places you wanted to arrive at, how many were they called now and here when you got there? They've always been called, and there isn't now and here, there's just now here. You know what I mean? Now is here, and here is now. Yeah, I mean, really, how many things you planned? After 3 months of working out, I hope to look like this. But even if the way you look has changed, it didn't change, the now didn't change. You've never escaped the now to look better in the future now. Yeah. See, we're so in it. It's the last possibility we'd ever freaking entertain. And selfing is such a small lens, seriously. It's such a small aperture. And it has an incredible tendency that limits its ability, if it had any, to actually grow, which is it wants to be right. It has a strong drive to want to be right about fucking everything. And therefore, it can have such a strong drive about being right, and if it's being right is that you're fucking wrong, you're going to be wrong quite a lot of freaking times. Yeah? To work and try to enlarge the aperture is trying to put an $800 lens on a Brownie camera. Remember those old Brownie cameras that you got in a box for like 20 bucks? Whatever, 15 bucks, and you basically just pointed and hoped because you couldn't see out of the fucking thick plastic what the hell I was looking at. But you'd, okay, Mom, smile. You'd get a vague, like a police composite drawing of your mom. You know what I mean? There was really no detail in it. It was just hope. So what? Would you want to spend $8,000 and buy 8,000 Nikon lenses or Carl Zeiss lenses and then put it on the Brownie? Are you going to get really any better picture? But if you saw you're not a Brownie, nothing right or wrong about it. If you saw you're not a Brownie, what possibility could arise in you? Well, if I'm not a Brownie, I mean, in no time at all, there'd be a dawning of what you are, because it's always dawning. You see, like Ramana says, we're always realized, always realized, always realized. That has no time constrictions in that statement. Realization is always realized, always. Not 1 second has passed when it hasn't been realized. What does that imply? Where does your head go with that? It's so freaking beautiful because it comes out of the mental shower of time and space and location, and you're in it. Yeah? You were in it before the shower, during the shower, after the shower. You're so it, you could never ever possibly be not it. It's like coming, you know, having dry skin and putting the most soothing balm on it, you know, just luxuriate into some fucking moisturizer. The thing goes, sucks it up, you know. And you're gonna have to be the final authority sooner or later. You are. You're gonna have to hit. Hey, this fucking sounds true. You know, I'm not gonna think I'm gonna entertain it, because the entertaining is not an effect of thinking. It's prior to thinking. Thinking is usually about what was entertained, basically. So what was entertained, you missed what was entertained by thinking about it, because the thinking about it makes it something. That isn't what was being entertained. So the entertaining, you grok things or understand things or meet things or you're available in a completely different manner than being with a laboratory smock and looking at something under a fucking mental, you know, microscope and thinking you know it. It's fucking dead. I don't care how many times you open up the frog and look at all its organs, you're not gonna capture frogness. You gotta see it fucking jumping and doing this and that. That's the frogness. It's not like, oh, I know a frog. Fuck that. This isn't about knowing. It isn't. You can know everything else. You can be a knower of so many topics here, but you cannot be a knower of what you are. You're only relegated to the possibility of being what you are. Knowing things, not knowing things, doing this, not doing that. You have never left the room, ever. The immediacy of it, there is no call to arms. There's no drive to fucking look for. There really isn't. For this, finally, you are clear about one topic. There is no point to look for what's looking. Because every moment I'm looking for anything, that's what's looking. So what's looking is looking for everything. Everything today, a latte, a job, or whatever it is. It's in a sense, that's what's looking, yeah? But it can never be a topic or an object for the looking for. That's what's looking can never look for that's what's looking. The Buddha can't be used to seek the Buddha. Why? Because it's the Buddha. Yeah? Seeking the Buddha as the Buddha would seemingly hide the nature of Buddhahood to the Buddha, which is completely impossible. But it can seem to be so here in time and in this little activity we seem to be in, yes? So you can't use what's looking to look for what's looking. You can use what's looking, or what's looking can be looking for anything else, and it never loses the quality of its nature, which is what's looking. Ever. Never. Yeah? But once the looking for, taken to be you, suddenly gets turned to try to look for what's looking, you're blind to it. Completely blind to it. Because you're now using what's looking to look for what's looking. You're now using the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Like Huang Po said, you're now using bigger mind to seek mind. You're now using light to seek light. You can do it for eons and nothing's going to happen. Now it worked. I mean, I have found great lattes in a lot of towns I've been to. First went to Toronto, didn't know where there was one. Had some shitty stuff, you know, but really bad. Tim Horton, terrible coffee. All these places. Suddenly someone told me, hey, there's a good cafe. Hey, I looked for a latte and I found a latte. Yeah, I was successful. I looked for a pair of trousers, I found a pair of trousers. I looked for this, I found a I got that. It seems to work. And you would assume, well, I'm just going to apply this same activity to another topic called my authentic self. But I can't. If the authentic self, or whatever, if the authenticity of what I am is looking for the authenticity, it will be blind to the one situation that's true, which is I am being authentic, yes? I am not an authentic thing. I am being something, yeah? All the time, never not so. So all these warnings or about these common pitfalls of like Raman, I keep pounding this away, but it's a beautiful statement. The presupposing, and it's the perfect word, because it's a supposing now that presupposes it's what it's supposing to before, yeah? This is the whole selfing maneuver. You believe Saturday is going to lead to Sunday. We believe we're going on this inexorable 2017 to 2018. We don't go 2017 to 2001. We tend to seem to keep going, yes? In one direction, linear. Mental process isn't playing that at all. It presupposes something now that implies the thing it's supposing is before. So you miss the whole starting line because you're thinking you're getting ready to run the race. You're in the racing. You've never not been in the racing. Never. There's not one point you can't get into a stance and get ready. The race is going on. There's never not been a point we've been in the racing. That's the beautiful news. What you're looking to get in, you cannot possibly be out of, ever. And what you're trying to get out of, you cannot possibly be in. You can be entertaining the inning, yeah? The feeling of being in, the sense of being in, but there's that which is entertaining the sense of being in cannot be in anything. It is everything. That which we are could not fit into a room and then want to get out of it. So if you get weaned off of believing the thought system, I'll tell you, if your reliance, it's not your reliance, whatever you want to call it, if the faith that we had in the thought system could seemingly be moved, or if there could be a loss of interest in the thought system, then that faith would be in the entertaining. Then you get a sense of what really is living. What's living, yeah? That what you are is what's looking. It doesn't say it's the one that looked. It's what's looking. It's what's hearing. It's what's feeling. It's what's tasting. It has never not been engaged. It never pulled off to observe what it was engaged with. Never. The idea of being the observer is all mental. It's a mental idea. It's like the mental state would love to separate itself from the fray and sort of narrate it. Oh yes, this and that. You're in the fight. So what happens? Find out, really. Entertain the possibilities and see where they lead. Entertaining isn't an effort. It's the state of mind right now. Mind's entertaining this. It's never not entertaining. At least finally you give it some meat, something that's worthy of its ability to entertain. Instead of entertaining total concern about what's not happening all fucking day, it's been enslaved. You know, it's like a marathon runner put into a closet. Yeah, just walks around the closet with pictures of, you know, big long vistas, but it never goes anywhere. Once the door's released, it just fucking starts running. Yeah, when I heard this message, it was just like that. Something hit, and it felt like, man, this is the knowledge before all knowledge I've ever had. Yeah, it's like an unspoken yet, and it never stopped reverberating because it had always been reverberating. I just wasn't keying into the sound. Yeah, the vibration, I wasn't sensing it. Then suddenly I am, and and when there's a recognition you are that by seeing what you're not, then there is no vigilance needed, no sentinels, no disciplines. Like I was reading Nisargadatta Maharaj, he says, all you're running for something is running away. Or as he says, presupposing of a non-existent thing. What's the non-existent thing? What's the thing? The body, yeah? The presupposing of a non-existent thing that suddenly wants to get salvation for the non-existent thing. Just hold that. You can see the floor of it, yeah? F-L-A-W, the floor, not F-L-O-O-R. The floor of it, yeah? Just hold it. All right, a presupposing. So pre means before, yeah? So there was a supposing, and it's presupposed. So the supposing happens now, but it presupposes it was there before. That's the selfing, yeah? And at this point, all right, presupposing a non-existent thing, what's the presupposing of the non-existent thing that's existing? Yeah? Because it would make sense for an existing thing to try to find salvation for itself, yeah? But presupposing, this is an intense little handbook, presupposing the non-existent thing, yeah? Now it has a sense of existence because what's presupposing it? What's believing the idea of being a non-existent thing? That which is all existence, yeah? So suddenly that which is all existence, which is in constant pre-salvation, there's no need for salvation of that, yeah? Now, as this thing that comes after it, but's implied to be before it, makes sense that this thing needs salvation. But the salvation is already there. Pantomiming the act of being a non-existent thing that needs salvation. So what happens? This could go on forever. A non-existent thing seeking salvation from a non-existent thing can go on forever. Because there's no salvation from a non-existent thing. It doesn't exist. It can go on. What's necessary? Just see you're not the non-existent thing. What happens? The whole logic of the mental state gets blown up. The what's looking is super clear that it's always that which is looking for. So you're not going to apply an activity of that which is doing all activities, define that which is doing all activities. Suddenly, you leave the field of knowing and study and experiences and epiphanies, and you're now in a sense of being it, which means you always are it. No matter what conditions that come after, yeah? No matter what situations in life that come after, they cannot eclipse that which is before. They can only seem to eclipse that which is before when it's moved to being what's after, and you are now the beginning point. And it's your own looking that's the cloud that's seemingly blocking the sun and keeping you from getting the sunlight of the Spirit when you're actually on the sun side. The cloud, you see the clouds, but they have no ability to influence your sunbathing, let's say. People, if clouds came today, tons of people are hoping to have a great sunny day. They're driving like ants all around. One cloud could come, and let's say it was really slow and it just parked right in front of the sun. Their whole days would be ruined. But what would happen if you're not that and you're on the sun side? Would the cloud, though they're still appearing, would they have the ability, because the ability is given over to them from your position? Yeah? If you see a cloud from the sun side, can it block you from the sun? No. It's all based on where you're looking at it from. The whole places. You and I are giving everything all the meaning it has. Depth, distance, all made up. The camera's going, focusing on one thing, this wide lens for everyone else. And then there's a story that you're the one doing it. You're Mr. Nikon. But the other side, because there's in this event, there's always another side. This whole event is a dualistic one in its nature. Yeah, either or, yes and no. No matter how many times you cut a coin, it's still going to have two sides. So let's say in this activity, here you are, and you're only looking out this way from the idea that you're Mr. or Mrs. Nikon. And then the lenses are doing it, and everything, all the movements, your head is claiming to be the one doing them all. Yeah? It won't claim being the digester because, no, it's obvious you're not digesting the burrito you had last night. Yeah? It won't, but whatever else it can claim, like the thinking process, it's claiming it. Yeah? The feeling, I'm the one who's feeling, I'm the one who's doing. Yeah? And then on the other side, there's a huge wide open lens, doesn't have any blinker on it. It's always available at all times. It's seeing, it never runs into anything, so its seeing is infinitely happening. And here we are, Jesus would say, we're at that camera point, and we're in this world, the activity of all the apertures doing this and that, but we're not of this world. And it seems like what we're really missing and looking for in this world is actually from what we are of. Yeah? And that we're the only one that can bring it into our life, seemingly. A lot of us have tried to find it in this place, and it seems to have failed us. Yeah? We've done things that we thought would be great, but without us really there, it isn't great. It's fucking empty, isn't it? You can have all the money in the world, you can have all this and that, and every one of them run into moments of extreme emptiness because they're there. But then when you sense the ofness while you're in, you're the source of the contentment and the satisfaction you're hoping to acquire or procure out here. You're it. You are what you're looking for. And then whatever you're doing, something comes into it, and that gives it value. You can take the same walk for 10 years, and you'll see something new every day. Yeah? You won't have to go to, I got to go to a different walk every day. You can. I used to walk behind the library in Mill Valley for years. You know, 5-minute drive from where I live. Just walked every day. Just birds would come, different birds. The whole fucking thing was alive. It was like a present tense pulse. Yeah. Oh, I've done this fucking hike. Wasn't even a hike. That's why I did it. It was pretty flat. I did this hike before. I've got to add. No, yeah, I didn't. It was fine. And I saved all that driving time. It was 5 minutes. I didn't have to pack my car up to convince I was doing something. I just fucking drove over there, walked, do whatever I was going to do. Because I wasn't. You're what you're looking for. When? Now? Where? Here. All right. Any questions? Wow, they're getting shorter, the talks every week. We're going to get down to about 4 minutes soon. Yes.
Okay, this is probably going to sound stupid, but what's the point of like going on retreats? What's the point of searching?
Why don't you ask yourself that?
I like it.
And then save me, all I want you to do, if you ask yourself that, I want you to send me 1/4 of all the money you saved from not going on the retreats. I think I deserve that.
What's money for? What's the money for?
For my lavish lifestyle.
One more thing. I experienced something, I don't know quite what it is, maybe something like this. I was doing a presentation from a class called The Artist's Way, and I was so fucking into it that I was so present, I didn't know I was there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, there was incredible, I had the special music, the lights were dim, I made everybody get up and hug each other and shit. And it was like,
That won't be happening here.
I felt all this electricity and stuff, and I was like, then I kind of, like I was watching it, and then I kind of snapped out of it. And then I heard the noise and the music, and I'm like, whoa, this is very cool. But the problem with being in the moment is you don't remember it. Like, I didn't remember.
You should be happy about that.
Yeah. No, it was a good experience. I would like to remember that. What's so
See,
funny?
no. See, because this is what happens. Life is happening, right? But the mental state wants to remember life is happening. But at the expense of life is happening.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So if I remembered it, I would be missing it because I was in it.
Totally. Exactly. So you wanna do the impossibility. You want to be there to experience your own absence.
Yes, I
This
do.
is like the big hook in the mental state.
Well, then maybe, how about this? How about not the same experience, but someone records it?
So you can relive it.
Yes! That's a good thing.
But what are you doing at the time of reliving it? You're living.
I'm reliving it, so I may not be at the moment at that time, but who cares? Because I want to experience that feeling that was so fucking awesome that I didn't remember.
Yeah, see, this is a perfect example, like,
What?
of selfing right there.
I don't know what selfing is. It was what you were talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Selfing is just that, you see? It presupposes that it was the one that was having that experience, and then it desires to have it again.
So?
It's not true. That's not what happened.
What happened?
What happened is that sense of you that says it's you wasn't there. That's why it was such a fucking awesome time. Because you weren't there.
I was over here watching somebody else.
But that over here, that's just made up by the mental state.
But I didn't see me in there.
Exactly. That's the point. But when you watch the video, you'll be seeing you in there.
What's wrong with that?
Well, you'll see. You'll have to watch a lot of videos.
And somebody else watched me then.
No, you see, hun, it's nothing's wrong or right with it. But the point is, the mental state wants to relive that which it never lived. Yes?
Wait a minute. I lived it.
Yes, but not the mental state did not live it. The mental state comes after the living of it. Yeah? And now it wants to...
Oh, like the memory of it? Or something?
Yes, it wants to now, by watching it over and over again, it will neuter that fucking event, yeah, its absence, and make it, it'll claim its own absence, yeah, and make a story of it. And that story now is that sense, yeah, that you thought you had at that time is not available now, and you want it to be available now. That's the desire. That's the engine of selfing completely.
But at the time it happened, I didn't feel anything.
Thank God, exactly.
No, because the after results of this was everybody came up to me and told me what happened, and it was a beautiful thing that these people, I'm not bragging or anything, but these people had this amazing experience, and I got closer to them and stuff, and I wish I was there.
Well, that's the beauty of mind using that event to be of help to others. Yes? That had nothing to do with you either. I know, but there's a bigger game going on than this game isn't about you, honey.
Aww.
Yeah. But come back to these talks. I think they can be helpful.
I live in LA, sorry.
Well, there's tons of YouTubes. I go to LA a lot. Yeah. Try to see us more. If you're interested, listen to it. Because more will be revealed. Yeah.
It sounds like, what does it matter then? What does anything matter?
Well, it sounds like that which, to that which you're not, that's how it translates this message sometimes. Yes?
Say that again?
To that which you're not, when it claims this message, that's where it usually leads itself to. Well, then nothing matters. Yes. That's all you see. Life's happening, and an activity in where you seem to be is claiming it. And then it speaks from the point of claiming it. And that's what was just speaking then. Yes. This is what happens all day. This is the thievery or the heist or the burglary that we're actually a total participant in, but we seem to be unaware of. Yes? So instead of life is happening, you're looking at life as happening to you. This is it. So what happens? Now that thing that you so felt you were at, which you weren't, it was the absence of you, now you desire that, and you're trying to duplicate it.
Yeah.
That's the slavery of self. That's the bondage of self. Because that expression may be unique, but the possibility that it was an expression of isn't. That's always available at all times. But now making it a memory, an event that only happened and was only for that half hour, you've now completely nuded the invitation that life has to offer us, which is it's always available at all times. Yeah? This is exactly what the head does. It starts piecing, cutting what is, and makes it into what was and now hoping what will be. That's what it does. This is a perfect example of the activity that we're attempting to speak towards, because I'm not speaking to you, really. I'm speaking to mind. And mind's going to have a lot to say to you today. Seriously, it is. I'm not talking to you about mind. I'm talking to big M mind about you. And it's going to download stuff, don't worry. Yeah, because it was a perfect example. There was an event that you weren't at, you were absent.
Yeah.
Then, when time kicked in again, there was a claiming of the event. Yeah. Now you'd like to watch videos of the event, and you have a desire which is causing a certain dis-ease now, because you'd like to feel like that which you thought you felt, which you didn't. There was no one who had the feeling. There was just the feeling of it. Yeah. And now you want to have it as that which you're not, and it's using that desire to minimize or to limit your ability to be available now, because you want to be available to that.
I have no dis-ease about it. It was a cool thing. It would have been nice if I experienced it. That cool?
Be good. That's good.
Now, is this a Byron Katie thing? It is.
Yeah.
Why is everyone laughing?
I don't know. They're used to me, that's why. They're used to me. You're like a newbie. They're used to me. Yeah. I would say, humbly, if you found any interest in this, just listen. We have tons of free stuff, YouTubes and everything. And it will get in. Yeah. It will, easily.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it may shed light onto certain things that may seem vague right now. Yeah. That's what will happen.
Okay, the last question is, what's the purpose of this kind of...
Whatever you make it, really. Whatever you make it.
So you don't live in the past or future? Well, you don't exist, I guess. Does this work in practicality? Because it's a nice theory.
For sure. You'll travel lighter.
Yeah, you don't have to be right.
What?
Traveling lighter.
Yes, you'll travel lighter, honey. As that which you take yourself to be, that will start traveling lighter.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes. When the vested interest that the mental state has about you gets a little bit dispersed, that you think you are is going to travel lighter.
Okay, I have a solution. Remember I just told you? Mini lobotomy.
Mini lobotomy. I'd like to perform one now. I will.
I would be up for it.
All right. Well, let's go inside. I got some crude tools. It may be painful, but there won't be anyone there to know. Yeah, good. I'm honey. I'm happy you're here. I think we can end with that. That was awesome. All right? Yeah. Oh, geez.
I just wanted to keep going. If everybody wants to, this is not that long. My three sisters are born again Christians, so I grew up, I grew up with a lot of running away from that. But when I was sitting here, a lot of what you're saying is another version. Like when you were talking about good news.
What?
Yeah, you're talking about good news. That's a very common thing to say in the Christian circle.
Yeah.
And also, it's just a different perspective.
I got a preacher in me, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the same message as the Christian. If you can take out a lot of the judgment and craziness, it's
Well, you don't even have to take out the judgment or craziness, honey. You don't have to take out the judgment or craziness. Just take out the one who thinks it has the judging and the craziness. Judgment, the head judges. The head judges. You're trying to get out of judging is a judgment about the head. You can't get out, self can't get out of self. What you're not in cannot get out of itself. Yeah?
I've heard that.
That's the whole point. And then it's great when you get fucking exhausted by it, because that's when, what can a failed system show us? That it's failed. And that's what happens. When all your thinking and all this, trying to do this, seems not to work, hallelujah. That's an incredible bit of information. Because now maybe there'll be a shift of reliance from a failed system to something that works. Yeah? And that's something that works is actually what you are right here, right now. You are what you're looking for. The seeker is the sought. Yeah? There is no time that the seeker has to go through to become the sought. The seeker is the sought. Yeah? It doesn't say the seeker will someday be the sought. It says the seeker is the sought. It's incredibly right now and never not right now. And let's go. Can we turn that, hit that red button? But listen, we're going to go.